Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hopefully today is the last day where it is just me, but today we're checking out 1 year living in the US. Here's what I've learned. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. I know it has been super slow recently. Unfortunately, we've had some bad family news, as well as Millie being super ill, and it's all just kind of come to a little bit of a stop. But Millie was back at work today, which was awesome. She's finally getting back on her feet. She's been proper ill for the past week. So yeah, hopefully you'll see Millie soon. I've still got a little bit of a cough. It's in England. It is what it is. But let's get into the video. Smash the like button if you are enjoying my content, guys. Thank you for being legends and sticking around. Let us know what other content you want to see on my channel, because when we come back fully, we want to do it properly. We want to get content smashed out. We want to do TV shows, movies, all that good stuff, which we've promised a million times and evidently not been consistent. We want to do it, so please let us know what you want to see in the comments below, and let's check it out. What we got?
Back in May of 2024, I packed up my life in Toronto and moved down to San Francisco. It's been just
Okay, I didn't actually look at the date of this video, but sometimes they're outdated. We are literally within the month. That is awesome. Okay, so this is going to be a up to date as of now.
over a year now, and I've learned a lot about what it's really like to live in the US versus Canada. Today, I want to share things that shocked me most, what I wish I knew before moving, and what I'm still trying to figure out. Now, I've already made a whole video about why I chose to move, so I'm not going to rehash that. This is more of a year in review, the unfiltered version of what it's actually been.
Oh no. Oh no. I messed with the internet today and have obviously made it worse. Do you want me to check out the video of her saying why she moved? I'm intrigued. What was it a job? Was it better quality of life she expected? I don't know. Maybe she'll accidentally mention it saying, oh, as I expected, better quality of life or something. I don't know. We'll see.
So I'm not going to rehash that. This is more of a year in review, the unfiltered version of what it's actually been like for me. First, I'm going to talk about the 3 things that I wish I knew before I even got here. First thing is healthcare. Healthcare is going to come up in...
I'm going to have to pause, guys, because, and I'm just looking on this screen because I can't fully see the bottom of my screen. We're going to have to make it super quality because that is awful. Okay. Yeah, it's a shock. Yeah. Okay. Seriously.
here was how important a US ID is. Obviously, I wasn't allowed to get one before I was legally a resident here, and I got my visa stamped at the Canadian border. So I couldn't get one until I had proof that I had that visa stamp in my passport. I remember further down the line, a few months into being here, I could still use my Canadian driver's license for the time being until I had time to get a California license. Little did I know that sometimes it would be hard to get into bars with a Canadian ID because they would think it's fake. So that troubled me sometimes. And there's been a few things along the line that having the ID has been helpful for.
We get that in the UK because obviously we're in Jersey, just off the UK, and our driving licenses look completely different to UK driving licenses. So like, if we get ID'd in a shop when we're in England, we're like, what the hell is this? It does look fake, but luckily we've never been refused. They've just looked at, we got like this book and it goes at IDs, and I'm like, oh, okay, it is actually real.
Implementing the real ID laws, I could have flown with just a US ID as opposed to having to bring my passport everywhere if I was flying domestically, which would have been helpful. The other thing is when you have to do an ID verification for an app or a bank account or anything, it really helps to have a US ID because then you can just go through the computer system as opposed to having to do the one where somebody is checking your stuff afterwards and it's going to take you, 24 hours to be reviewed and confirmed to participate in using an app. The last thing I wish I knew before I got here is how car-centric the United States and specifically San Francisco are. I didn't have a car when I got here. I do now, thankfully. But the United States does not do public transit very well. Unless you're in New York, public transit is not something that you're going to use to get everywhere you can. And specifically, it's not super safe. So I
think mainly it's just the US is so big, so it's hard to have a consistent public transport. But I will being the US's defence, San Francisco, we used the bus and it was great. It was helpful, but with loads of them. San Francisco was good for public transport. What it felt like for what we used it for, it was good.
Wish I understood before that how often I was going to be in a car and how I should prioritize getting my United States driver's license as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, next are the things that shocked me the most about
Okay.
moving here. Number one, obviously healthcare. Even though I
Yeah.
have what is considered good insurance, if I get sick, visit the doctor, and get one lab test run, for some reason, I still owe $800. It
Oh,
really
wow.
doesn't make any sense to me. Still trying to
That's a
figure it out,
lot.
still trying to learn how to deal with insurance companies. Just going to do that one really quickly because it's going to come up every single time. The next thing that's really shocking in the United States is the normalization of air travel. Everybody in the United States is so comfortable just hopping on a quick flight. And they're used to that because airfare is so cheap in the United States. Typically, to fly from Toronto to Montreal, which is a 5-hour drive and a 1-hour flight, it's usually going to cost you 200 to 300 Canadian dollars. It's
Oh,
pretty
wow.
expensive. To fly
Yeah.
from San Francisco to Vegas, you can get a flight round trip for $49 on a good day and
Okay.
$99 on a bad day. Las Vegas is way further away from San Francisco than Montreal is to Toronto, but for
Yeah.
some reason, air travel is so cheap here, and everyone is just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go for the weekend and I'll
Which is
be back.
awesome.
The
I
next
do
thing
love
that
that.
shocked me about moving to the States is groceries and food. So in Canada, most people just shop at regular grocery stores. You don't see people having cult classics of needing to go to Whole Foods or Sprouts because they only shop organic and they're super afraid of pesticides. That really doesn't exist in Canada. We have very different food safety laws where a lot of people just feel very comfortable eating the standard, chicken from grocery stores and the standard fruits and vegetables from grocery stores.
Yeah.
The last thing that shocked me the
Okay.
most about moving to the United States, and this is a very San Francisco centric thing, is the
Oh, she's in San
transient
Francisco
nature.
as well, and she's moaning about it. So it's everyone's different opinions, and again, I don't live there, so my opinion is nowhere near as valid. I think if you live there day to day, you get a more idea of what it's truly like, avoiding the touristy areas, etc. So yeah, obviously I'm probably wrong.
Of being here. Specifically, there's not a lot of locals. Growing up in Toronto, everyone was a local. And that didn't mean that they grew up in Toronto, but they probably grew up in one of the nearing suburbs, like I
Okay.
did. So when I met other people, they were usually from a suburb nearby to where I grew up. As opposed to in San Francisco, people come from everywhere in the world to
Yeah.
be here, and typically they don't stay here very often. For one, they don't stay for many years, they end up going home very quickly, and two, just over weekends, people just leave. It's very
Okay.
unusual to be in a place where it's very transient because I find that it's harder and it takes longer to nurture relationships because you just don't get as many opportunities
That
with
makes
people.
sense.
So the last
And
part
by
of
the way, I had no clue what transient meant until it's just been told to me, so I've learned that as well.
this year in review is the things that I'm still figuring out. Cap it off, just like I capped off the last two. I'm still figuring out healthcare. Insurance is still hard. I have no idea how to access dental. I
Fair
don't
enough.
know how to pay for vision care. All of the
Let her
billing
know.
is
Let her
really
know.
confusing, and bills come in the mail, and then I get text messages, and I'm like, why does this cost so much? And it's just really hard to deal with. The next
Okay.
thing that I'm trying to figure out is building wealth. I have stated many times
I
over
could
many
do that.
videos that the point of me being in the United States is to accumulate wealth. And I have a job, and that is great. But in order to get to the next level of wealth building, I have to be a little more considerate about what I'm going to do. Thankfully, I'm in a place where there's a bunch of people who have a bunch of knowledge about a bunch of different ways to get rich. I know I want to be here. I know I'm on the right path. I just don't know what's next for me. The
Okay,
last
fair
thing I'm
enough.
still figuring out is where I'm going to end up long term. Thankfully, I have an opportunity to continue to stay in the United States for as long as I continue working and creating value for the United States, which is a great perk of the visa that I'm on. But I
Okay.
don't know where I want to live. I don't know where I want to raise kids, buy a home, put down roots, and I'm just not sure. That's still something I'm figuring out.
Gotta
And I think it's a
explore and
really
find
common
out.
thing to experience in a city like San Francisco or New York, where everyone's trying to work really hard and work.
Yeah, they are very not exactly family based cities, which you can have a family there. There's nothing against it, but that's not the sole focus of it. Or the ethos of it, I guess. And then I guess the US is so big, you've got so many options, so many pros, so many cons of each place. It's like, what do I do?
On a singular goal right now. And it's really hard to see the long term plan because you have so many expectations of what your current effort is going to yield for you in the future. So that's my year in review. That's how I feel after spending a year and a bit in San Francisco in the United States and trying to navigate things I wish I knew before, things that shocked me, and what I'm still trying to figure out. Thanks for watching.
That was awesome. Let us know if you want me to show that video to Millie. It was interesting, honest, very honest, which I absolutely love videos like this, where they're honest, they're not just, everyone's going, oh yeah, the US is amazing, this is what it is. Don't be wrong, the US have so many good things, and it is amazing in a lot of aspects. But like any country, the UK, we've got disastrous moments. We've got disastrous things happening all the time. I absolutely love the UK. I'm from England. I love England. I love I'm patriotic. I love the football team. But we do have negative things. The US, unfortunately, has negative things, but it does have a lot of awesome things, which is really, really cool. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and we'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.